Disney just had its Q3 earnings call, and it was a disaster for them. Of course, Bob Iger tried to come out and put his spin on it to try to paint everything as not so bad, or it's better than what there actually appears. But if you read between the lines, you can see that there's problems behind the scenes that they just don't want to fess up to. So getting into this article from the Wrap, Disney to cut quantity of cost of upcoming films focused on improving quality. And this isn't the only thing. I mean, there's problems with the streaming service too, but I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But first, let's just focus on the movies, because right now this headline says a lot. I mean, the fact that they're trying to cut the quantity of things just goes to show that they know that they're losing money at the box office, because if they were making money with movies, then they wouldn't be trying to cut quantity. They'd be doubling down and tripling down on that and putting out more movies. I mean, it's just like any studio. When a movie is successful, they're like, we need to crank out sequels to this because we're going to make money off it until it stops making money. Then we move on to something else. So the fact that they're willing to cut back on productions just goes to show that they're losing money off of it. And the whole idea like, oh, we need to improve quality, that just goes to show it's like, yeah, we got lazy. We've been just trying to push out stuff, like slap Marvel or Star Wars on anything and people eat it up. Well, apparently that's not the case anymore. So now they need to cut back on that, or at least improve the quality of it before they can push it out, because audiences won't just eat any crap that you give us. I mean, we're a little bit more sophisticated than that, or at least I would think so. We want to have something better. We demand a better quality of films that out there in the theaters, and we're not going to go pay premium dollars to go see it unless it's actually good. And frankly, everything that they've been putting out in this last year seems to be pretty bad, or at least most things they are. I mean, you got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That's one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. And right now in theaters, you have The Haunted Mansion, which is also failing. And a lot of that is to do with the fact that Disney is a damaged brand. But that's another issue, and I don't think you can really fix that unless you just get rid of Bob Iger entirely, but that's something else entirely. And then you got this right now, Disney Plus hikes prices as sales sink across the company. And the reason they're doing this is because Disney Plus and their streaming services like Hulu are basically the only money makers they have right now, and that's why they're hiking the prices on it. But it's not to actually get people to pay more for the premium ad-free services, because right now they're hiking the price from the ad-free services. It's gone from $7.99 from December to $10.99, and next in September it's going to be up to $13.99. And the reason they keep upping this is because they want to push people away from the ad-free service and get them to the ad-supported service. Now that costs less money to actually use that, but the reason they're doing that is because they make more money with the ad-supported service than they do people actually buying the ad-free service. And in fact, they actually make more money with the ad-supported service than they do having ads on their TV networks, which is why Bob Iger has made statements in the past that he wants to sell those off, like with ABC, FX, and things like that, and get a partnership for ESPN, because they're not making as much money. I mean, if they were a big moneymaker for Disney in the past, but those are the past, and he's trying to focus on the future, which is a streaming service. Even though this isn't necessarily the safest bet right now, because as you can see, they've lost millions of subscribers. I mean, Disney Plus Hotstar sheds 12.5 million subscribers in fiscal Q3 amid strategy shift. Streaming losses narrow. Okay, so they're losing less people than they lost in the past. But just look at this number, 12.5 million subscribers. I mean, they still have over 100 million subscribers on their streaming services, but still, I mean, that's a ridiculous one. And their big takeaway is like, yeah, but we're losing less people now in this quarter. It's like, oh, great. Is that really going to save you? I mean, if this is what they're banking their future on, is they try to cut back on the movies that they're making and actually try to focus everything on their streaming services when they're losing numbers like this. I mean, it's like, it's not really looking too good for them. And I mean, it's no wonder that they're actually panicking behind the scenes, or at least you know that they're panicking behind the scenes. And that's why there's all those rumors coming around about Disney actually selling off a lot of their properties, like their television networks. They're trying to sell those off in order to actually finance debts that they're taking on from having to pay Comcast for their share of Hulu and things like that, because they're selling off their television networks in order to buy their more streaming networks, because like I said, that's Bob Iger's big push for the future of the company. But frankly, I don't see it actually working, because Netflix has kind of got them beat on this ground. And I think the only thing that they're trying to do is just flex their muscle, because while Disney does have other things to help offset their losses, like with their theme parks, which are not doing as bad as they once were, as reported by the streaming earnings call. They have their cruise lines, and now the box office isn't doing too good. So basically Disney's trying to keep themselves above water and basically try to like muscle Netflix out, but I really don't see that working for them. And honestly, Disney should just kind of get rid of their streaming networks and just go back and licensing their shows and movies and things like that to Netflix, because I think they would actually make a lot more money that way than just to try to sink more money into this failing ship. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure you click the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest news. Thank you.